As I was reviewing some LinkedIn posts, I came across an interesting one that took me by surprise. It actually made me sick to my stomach that I'm seeing something so unexpected. And let me tell why it felt so unexpected. Well, about a month earlier, I was having a very connected conversation with a beautiful, powerful, visionary leader who was so humble and compassionate to open a space to potential co-creation together. I was a bit hesitant and even asked, like, "Are you sure that's how you want to go about it?" And quickly reassurance started coming. Yes, we want to work. I want to work together. We want to make a lot of money together, and let's go for it. So I started being excited and started actually coming up with how to kind of go about it, how we can co-create together, what roles we could be taking in that, and made some suggestions and made some follow-ups, left some messages, and all of a sudden it was quiet. And somehow I'm seeing some other posts. We were communicating through Facebook, Instant Messenger, and I see some Facebook posts that there's some busyness happening. So I'm like not sure why I'm not getting any answers when I'm making some follow up. Messages and attempting to reconnect and start working on some details. And uh, I'm seeing that post, and somehow, I think before even I saw that post, I uh, I made another attempt to reconnect with the person, and the person this time decided to reply with seems like almost an excuse that looked like a valid one, that they not so much. On instant messenger, and because they being kind of their account is being kind of constantly bombarded by some offers from others that not feel in alignment, so the person is not checking so much those messages and propose some alternative ways how we can connect and explore further collaboration. And I start reaching to those places and still didn't hear back from the person whatsoever. And in mid of that communication, I'm seeing that post that gives me an indication that that person is not so open to any collaboration. The post was indicating that whatever like a framework that was shared during the call is that we're supposed to co-create, is actually being explored on her own, and she going forward, and even in the post indicating that after that experience, there will be a proposal of some offers to working together, and inviting people to that experience. So that's what made me sick to the stomach, and I also attempt to be a forgiving person and finding the compassion, but it hurt. It hurt when somebody is making and faking the humility and openness, and all of a sudden the desperation of some gain is taking a priority to not be open anymore to that co-creation. So without even saying, I would probably be more understanding when something was shared, like, hey, I feel that I get to kind of create on my own. Nothing like that was sharing. I came across, and that's what was my understanding, that that person is not really really open to co-creation. Even though the last message that I heard from her, she's still open and she's looking for the cash flow. So that was another indication for me that yes, the desperation of the monetary gain took over, and it wasn't a space to bring anybody else on board. It is unfortunate, and I know that I'm not alone in those situations. That more of those situations are happening, and especially we're living in a challenging world, and a lot of people feel threatened by how to move forward, how to support themselves financially because of some circumstances, because more of the uncertainty in the world of technology taking over the positions, corporation no longer needing so much staff and slimming their overheads and letting go of a bunch of people. I know that it might be a very challenging time and scary time to come to some desperate measures how to survive and how to provide for to make a living. However, you cannot just keep faking the humility and desperation and hoping for the best that you will get what you want. You get to somehow consider the true power of spiritual humility and live your authentic legacy, because that's what we are called to do in those desperate times. Not to bring more desperation, but having bringing more understanding that this is not the way to go. It's showing up to uncover the limited beliefs that we've been living for many years, that we were trained to many times default to those ways of making the living, pushing hard, uh, striving to achieve, and not always in the most humble and compassionate way, not always taking into considerations other human beings of in our actions, because of that somehow. Desperation and survival mode can really create a very selfish outcomes, that we just got to take care of ourselves, and we get to uh, sacrifice other people to win in this life. And when we coming with that kind of mentality, that somebody has to lose for us to gain something, it's a very limited and very um, discerning outcome, uh, actually a role that you want to play, but also can create some very surprising outcomes for you, that might take you several experiences like that to start recognizing that it's not the way to go, and that more desperation will not bring you more results, but more humbleness will actually and allowing to receive your fruits of your labor will actually get you to the place where you will see the unexpected blessings be beyond your imagination, beyond your understanding. And that's what we get to co-create together with other visionary, heart-centered leaders who are so, especially in mid-age, so feeling independent that they they got to figure out everything on their own, and having a challenging time in that co-creation, and they feel more of that push and desperation to bring their visions to life. Yes, it costs money. It requires resources to develop some systems, to develop to bring to life the vision. So creating some offerings that can cover the costs, searching for some ways of making it happen is definitely a challenging task. And when it will add to that challenge when it's coming from that desperation, when money become a priority over the humility of your own nature, over the humility of to take advantage of the other human being, instead of humility is how I can take advantage of another human for my own personal gain. It can just go so far, even if some people, and it's kind of unfolding how far some people are coming or came to become so rich with millions and billions of dollars, and how they came, how the money for some of them instead of making them more humble and more human, make them this human, and taking things and measures that it's even hard to believe that coming to the light those days, how another human being can be so hurtful to another human being, what rights they have in that desperation of the financial, and when even they come to a money, a power, desires to be in control of others, can actually lead to, and it's just distancing from that true power of humility, and creating that disconnect when you acting like a robot, and you not acting from your true nature, from your authenticity, from who you are as a humble, compassionate human being, because it is our true nature. But it's not for creating a manipulation out of that to make a personal gain, but really to be of true service to other human beings. And then that's how we can receive, when we in that true service to others, can also receive the fruits of our labors. And I know that it might be feel like but I tried that way and I wasn't receiving, so I cannot trust that. Did you give enough space and time, or quickly realize in impatience, and to keep returning to the desperation that it's not on your timing, and it's not quick enough for you, so you cannot trust that you actually can receive the blessings, that you can experience and natural fruits of your labor, and keep coming from a desperation and desire of the power, and desire of manipulations, instead of returning more to you, returning more to your natural nature, returning more to create the best version of you, the most authentic version of you, that you also can enjoy and can share with the other humans, and show them as a role model that it's possible, even that in that crazy world where it seems like there's no more space for being authentic, for being you, because it's so much of that that masking so much of that power hungry and controlling people out there, that you will lose yourself. It's time to actually find yourself and show even those other ones that it's possible for them not to keep coming from that desperation of that personal gain, but to the true power is actually to becoming the most authentic version of you, and stepping to your true power and using your voice when start rippling to others, and create a difference, a real difference for you and for others. And I've been actually in different situations, and been actually guided. So that's why I'm standing here and sharing that, because I experienced firsthand that struggle of and desperation is not something that is working, and possibly I don't believe it's my only personal experience, that you might be discovering that as well, that it's less that you can go too far with that desperation, and you might be overwhelmed and puzzled why what worked so well for so long is no longer working for you. And instead of being puzzled, allowing to return back to you, and creating that reconnection with your true nature, and asking for guidance, asking for answers from your power source, from your divine nature. What are your next steps to be of that true service, to be standing in your true power of spiritual humility, of spiritual nature, that is the most authentic one, that you can not just create for when you pass away, but go living and keep co-creating with your source, that beautiful legacy. And so you will be remembered well by others, but also they will remember how you make them feel. They will definitely want to forget you if the only way you live your life was just coming from a desperation and that desire to overpower others and controlling things, and coming from a desperation. They will definitely remember you when you came from more of the authenticity, when you came more from your true nature, that you make them feel heard, when you make them feel seen, when you came from your wholeness, from love, from joy, from peace, from light, from compassion to others. That's what will be most memorable, that people wanted to remember and will enjoy, and potentially your legacy will be keep living in those people, that it will give them permission to be also to practice more of that true power of spiritual humility, and seeing that as the possibility for themselves, and keep rippling and creating their own legacies, where it feels that there is a difference that is being made for them and for others. And I want to kind of bring another from that experience that I had and been authentically sharing. And it's kind of unfortunate, and I don't believe I'm alone in experiencing those things. And there were more of those experiences, and brought me to some deeper reflections and deeper connections within, and asking for guidance how to move forward on those. So that's why I encourage you to also consider those options, and also what to share what other things were coming out of those reflections, when I was somehow on a deeper level want to break through some of the limitations, some of the fears that subconsciously were hanging in my mind and in my body when I was asking myself some simple questions and the word success show up. And when my body was so much contracting, uh, around just a simple word of success. It was pretty revealing, and based on my transformative journey, I felt I can somehow make a shift, create some crack and opening in my mind and in my body to create some kind of expansion, to not continue feeling that deep contraction when I'm hearing uh, even saying the word success. It came from some experiences in the past, that belief that in order to be successful is to keep pushing yourself, keep being a desperate. And when there was a lot of inner conflict showing up and surfacing, I came to actually ask God for support. And in that moment, it was the beginning that I didn't even know at that moment yet, but after years looking back and reflecting back, that that was a moment of a deeper transformation of that reconnection, spiritual reconnections that my soul wanted to experience. And when I asked uh, God for support, I received the support. I transform my experiences. I open my mind, my heart, my body to start experience some beautiful blessings and miracles and continue on that journey. It opened me. It gave me that taste that it's a possibility, that it's worth to continue that journey. Even though I did experience, I wasn't immune, and all of a sudden everything was peachy, to other experiences that brought me to my knees and created more of that humility. But that was that part of the transformation, to be practicing more of that true nature that we keep revealing, and through experiences to somehow create that awakening of the possibility. That's really a truth, to be in that true power and spiritual humility, and not giving in to the desperate measures of my own or desperate measures of others, by giving away my power to somebody else and hoping that they will take care of me. So what was also revealing when I was exploring that possibility and expansion on that word of success, I also at some point heard some single words when I was connecting with God, and I heard through service, and I also been exploring on those words, and now I'm hearing that contraction around the word success, and I'm attempting to bring more peace and more openness to that word success, and getting my mind on board to have a deeper understanding that success, it doesn't have to be the way I experience it, gets to actually be created on my own terms. And all of a sudden I'm hearing a pretty clear statement: success is a true service that requires sacrifice without personal suffering. And how I interpret that statement, that landed pretty deeply within my mind and my heart and my body, and created a deeper awareness and understanding that was keep attempting to reveal true experiences. Yes, it requires some efforts to be of service to other human beings, but it doesn't require to be suffering, meaning to give yourself away to another human being, to give away totally your power, so people can manipulate you, that other people can take advantage of you, but to actually remain in your true power, your true nature, to be authentic self, And at that point, when you keep coming from the wholeness, when you coming from more of that self-trust, you can discern what opportunities are for you and which one you get to pass, and which one are not in alignment with your true nature, and let them go without any shame or guilt or attempts of desperation. Well, if I somehow would suffer the discomfort of going through that experience, it I will make it work. Most likely it will not. So end that suffering at the beginning and remain in your power and not give that to another human being, and you some beautiful and experience that is in more alignment will show up for you, and that you can be of a true service and potentially connect with another human being and co-create together. Either it's another co-creation with another visionary woman, or co-creation with potential client, or co-creation with some support that will help with your expansion in your business and in your offers. So, and especially also with your family members as well, we keep co-creating the experiences, and we either will keep coming from that desperation and somehow excuses of, well, we just have to keep suffering and allow our families to keep suffering with us because we have to make that living, or show them a different role model, especially for our kids, especially for future generations, but also for our spouses that may be also in that space, that they feel that they have to keep pushing themselves. And if somehow they see that there is another option, that there is a possibility coming from more of that abundance and not scarcity and not desperation, they will start seeing a different experiences and be more open to receiving more even blessing than they ever imagined. And that's how the things work in that abundance, not cutting those lines of flow from the desperation when we attempt to give because we want to get something, but to really generously giving to receive abundantly and abundant blessings, and be of the true service to others, and show that humility and create a possibility for others in their lives and living our authentic legacy. So thank you for checking that message. I encourage you to make some comments about if you have some questions or what resonates with the message I share, or sharing about some of your experiences. And if you more open, maybe something from whatever I share resonates with you, and how that can be transformed, even that experience that I experience, I'm more in acceptance and forgiveness of that person too. It didn't work out, and I'm not willing to give that person power, and coming from a desperation to potentially, even though that person maybe unconsciously created a hurtful experience in the desperation of taking care of themselves, that now I will forgive that person and come from compassion, but it doesn't mean that I supposed to allow that person to somehow create more of those opportunities that it will create my inner suffering, that I will be giving that power away instead of reclaiming that power back and returning home to myself, and experience that I can come from more of that wholeness, not fraction, and disconnect, and move on to some other more abundant experiences, more abundant co-creations with other human beings who are more open, and who understand they on their journey further, and have the better understanding that it's a matter how we make other people feel, that they're not coming so much from their subconscious, but more from their conscious choices, awakening themselves more, and seeing that they cannot do things alone, that in order to make their lives that true, like authentic legacy, they get to come with that true power of spiritual humility, but also through co-creation with other beautiful souls, to make a difference for themselves, making difference for others through difference, and to build that legacy. So I trust that things will be, that more people, and especially visionary women leaders, will be more aware. And I'm also want to co-create because of what I see with my interactions and my experiences with other women, to co-create together with the visionary mid-aged women who are rising to their power, and not coming from subconscious and attempting to use that power for controlling their circumstances, but use their power for good, for making a true difference for themselves and for others. I'm not saying that it's not okay to take care of ourselves. It is important. However, we cannot keep doing that with the desperation, because that's desperation will show up when we're not taking care of ourselves, and usually that's kind of the cause of that desperation, that we not taking ourselves to equation, or keep abandoning ourselves for long time, and somehow it gets to the point that we don't feel that we can wait anymore, and we get to be more desperate, and it's not serving you, it's not serving anybody else, to keep coming, and people are more aware, and maybe waking up, and can sense that you might be coming from that desperation, and they don't want to deal with you, and they want to deal, they desperate to have a connection with another human being, authentic human being. They tire of that fakiness. So to build some immunity against all that is happening around, I'm inviting to a call, a connection call, where we can explore if it would be great to co-create, to have that mutual understanding, that we get to keep returning to our true nature, and not coming from that desperation, that we get to practice more of that spiritual humility, not just for ourselves, to return to our true nature, but to be of service with our true nature to the others. And it's not so easy when we surrounded by a lot of those people that still evolving on their journey, and not in that spaces yet. So if you're feeling more in that space, and where you noticing the importance of becoming more authentic and spiritual, and needing a community, conscious and awakened community, where we can co-create together, reach out to me. You can put in a comment, connect, or reach out directly. I will also share the link to my website, where there are opportunities to schedule some time together, and we can explore the options, if that's something that might be of beautiful expansion of our presence and creating more of that immunity in the conscious community, to keep practicing that spiritual humility, to practice more of being the best version of ourselves, so we can make a difference for ourselves and make a difference for ourselves and for others, and creating that authentic legacy. So without further ado, sending so much love, joy, peace, light, and compassion to you, and see you next time.